Ladies, so the markets, they were obviously closed yesterday due to the federal holiday, but this morning futures are down ahead of the opening bell. Okay, let's start with the United Auto Workers Union. So it's heading closer to a strike as we near September 14th. And now the date the union's contract ends, it could be a contentious fight between the two sides, as even the union's own president calls the demands audacious. Cary, tell us more about this.
Sure. So we've been waiting and watching this one, and we have about 10 days to find out if it's actually going to happen. Last time was 2019, and it cost us $3.5 billion in economy losses, which is going to be great because that was the last one was only one strike. This time could be all three of them striking. So what's very interesting is, we already are paying so much for our cars, and, the people are saying we cannot afford these demands because we are going to just keep pushing prices higher for consumers for cars, which they cannot afford as we speak. And what's interesting is that Biden says, I don't think this is going to happen. I'm not worried about it. So I don't know what that means, but we'll see.
That's right. President Biden came out and said that he isn't worried about it, which was just a very interesting thing to come out and say to the public. All right, so speaking of strikes, SAG-AFTRA's national board is unanimously seeking permission from union members to strike against a number of video game makers ahead of negotiations, which will resume a little bit later this month. Hillary, what is the rift with these video game makers, and where does SAG-AFTRA stand in the contract negotiations?
Well, Alex, pleasure to be back with you again and with Cary. Few things here. 9 of the 16 proposals put forth by the union have actually been settled, but the two main issues that remain are both wages, and of course, Cary just mentioned Biden. I mean, this is all related to inflation, because what the union is claiming is that despite any moderate pay raises, they're actually decreasing in terms of earnings because their earnings are not keeping up with inflation. So they want over 11% in terms of additional wages, and 11% back wages, and an additional 4% on top of that. The second issue is actually really interesting and will affect many more than just this union and just those in the movie and video gaming industry, and that is AI. All eyes should be on this for all knowledge workers. Why? Because what they're talking about is regulation. They're admitting, the union for SAG-AFTRA is admitting, we know AI is here. We know it's not just coming, it's in our industry. What they want is far more regulation because AI is eventually going to replace so many in that industry. So all eyes should be on this to see what the original negotiation, how the original negotiation goes forth and what is settled.
Yeah, fantastic point, Hillary. AI is here, and it is scary to think that they are taking over jobs. So starting today, New York City will begin enforcing a 2022 law that restricts short-term rentals. So, Cary, some 40,000 rentals will be impacted by this. I mean, how will this affect companies like Airbnb and Vrbo?
It's actually going to affect them incredibly, and it's a really big thing for New York City. What is happening right now is anybody who is a landlord and is going to trying to book right now on Airbnb, they are blocked from booking unless they're already approved by New York City. New York City has approved 256, and 11,800 are not approved and are considered illegal. So what this is going to mean is we are going to have a massive supply potentially coming on the market for sale and for rent for landlords who are not going to be able to pay these bills anymore if they can't short-term rent.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be, if you want to buy and if you want to rent in New York City right now, it could be a massive opportunity coming in the next couple of months. We've never seen anything like this.
No, and I know a lot of people, when they come to New York City, moving here for the first time, they'll stay in an Airbnb while they're looking for apartments or looking for a home. Oh, my goodness, this is huge.
Yes, it is.
Meanwhile, retailers are still being hit big by theft, with stores projected to lose, get this, $115 billion by 2025 just because of theft. I mean, Hillary, what are some companies doing to take matters into their own hands against these criminals?
Well, this is very interesting, Alex. This is actually a company out of St. Louis, Missouri, but they've actually been operating in the EU, and they dispense fog. Their name is Density USA for the USA product. In the EU, they've already used this. Actually, in England, there was a lorry, in America that's truck, but went into a jewelry store and smashed the whole store. But this fog released by Density made it impossible for the thieves to see anything, so they couldn't take anything. So what's coming to America is this American company that will release a fog. brilliant because why? It will protect the employees who no longer have to accost the robbers, and it will protect other shoppers.
Wow. Okay, I like that story you told about the fog. They couldn't even see what they were doing. I like this. So let's end on Subway. So they're looking to win over customers. And Cary, I'm going to go back to you on this one. I mean, it seems like the sky's the limit. What is the fast food sandwich shop up to this time?
So, well, they just sold, as you know. And Hillary, I know this, you want to add your topic on this one?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just going to say, no, Cary, we can both do this together. But what I was going to say is, yes, they're taking up, this is brilliant, very creative. They're taking up Subway eaters up in their Subway blimp, shaped like, of course, a Subway. And they're taking at least 6 people a day, 6 people on each ride, 40 a day. I think it's creative, innovative, and something that everybody's going to see. It'll be up there above you in the sky.
That is so. I know they're going to 3 different cities. I think it's Kansas City, Orlando, and Miami. They're 3 cities that they're doing this in. That's a whole lot of fun. We'll see how it goes. Hillary Fordwich, Cary Copernero, thank you both for joining us this morning. All right.